Hi, and welcome to episode 40 of the Cat Lady podcast. I am Andrea, your hostess, also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, C-A-T-T. It stands for Craft All the Things. It's January 13th, 2016. Welcome, any new viewers. Thanks for coming to check me out. And as always, welcome back any returning viewers. I can't talk today. It's gonna be one of those again. And I'm funny. I got my tea back here. My favorite BB-8 mug. There's the one side. There's the other side. And the tea that seems to be my go-to tea is this Good Earth tea. It's sweet and spicy. It's a cinnamon tea. Don't need anything in it. I like my tea sweet. I like sugar. You know, I like sugar in my coffee and stuff. So this one I don't need to put anything in. So, tangent. But I'll be sipping on that because it's just really dry. So, this week, we will have some podcast news, we will have some knitting, we will have a little bit of sewing. I went on a little sewing tangent. I didn't do a lot, but it was definitely a tangent. So it's something completely new and different. And then a little bit of stash, not really. I'm trying to think if I forgot something for stash, but nothing I can think of. But some stash, sort of, kind of, and we can review. And at the end, I will do a little bit of a camp update. So if you're here for camp, I will put the timestamp for camp, and you can head on over there. So, I'm going to jump right in to podcast news. Oh, you can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Show notes are going to be on Ravelry. And I feel like it works out so much easier to put them on Ravelry, so like doing Ravelry and the blog seems pointless. I might revisit the blog, you know, it's just a blogger, so it'll hang out there, but if anyone loves the blog or uses that, let me know. So, but as far as I know, I think Ravelry is the way to go. And if you aren't part of the Ravelry group, please come join the Ravelry group because that's where we do all our giveaways and fun stuff. There's lots of stuff going on there, which I have a giveaway to do today, so stay tuned. That'll be in podcast news. First off, we'll do introductions. If you want to say hi to me, I will say hi to you. Come into the introductions thread and come introduce yourself. So our introductions this week are CJ3712, who is Cheryl from Indiana. She is on my team, Team Snow Leopard, and she's been knitting for 11 years. She likes to do charity knitting, and she also crochets and sews. So hello, Cheryl. Go Team Snow Leopard. And another Snow Leopard that's come on over is Hot Needle times 2. It's X2, but anyways, Sherry from Ohio. She claims herself as a yarnaholic, which aren't we all? So welcome. And last is Mrs. Judy's, and Judy is from Florida. She has 3 pugs, so she knows all about the cat hair everywhere, or the animal hair everywhere, that is. And she comes over from winter camp as well, but she is not on my team, so welcome, campers. Thanks for coming and checking me out. And that's it. I don't think there was any other news. Oh, there's giveaway stuff. So, giveaways. I have a bag to give away. This is this lovely bag from Chasing Acorns. It's a little convertible bag, as I've called it. So it's got this bottom that's like boxy. And it's only boxy because it snaps. So take the snaps off. And it's just like a little drawstring pouch. So it's got this great handle. A little drawstring with the closure thingy majigger. Perfect for socks, small, or a hat, you know, small hat, fingering hat, socket hat or something. Just got a little tag on the inside, Chasing Acorns, and she uses, I hope it's gonna focus. And it's got this nice, just simple, like nylon inside, so it's smooth, easy to clean out. I mean, as much as the prints and stuff can be pretty on the inside, they do get fuzzy. You know, the yarn sticks to it more, so this is just super practical, really. And of course the cute little mustaches. So, who's gonna win? I'm going to draw right now. So, I had 62 entries, or 61 entries, minus the first post who was me, so we were drawing 2 through 62. I already set it up, look at me. So, random number generator, 2 through 62. Generate number 7. So let's go over to the thread and see what number 7 is. And I'm needing to write this down this time. So number 7 will be on page 1. Oh, I just realized. Hold on. Number 7. Number 7 is Storm Coast. Holy moly. She's going to be so excited. So Storm Coast, please contact me within 30 days for your prize. I know her, so. So yeah. And I don't need to write that down because I'll remember that. But speaking of which, I have not been contacted by the catalog winner, and it's been a month. So I'm going to draw again. I'm not prepared for this one, so you'll have to give me a moment. I will fast forward through the Okay, the catalog, redraw, and you will win a bag by me and a pattern credit, I believe is the prize. Now I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I was going to say, oh, yes. I know you're on the edge of your seats now. I have all this stuff everywhere. So, I forgot I made the bags already. Just got to dig through my mess of stuff to get them out. So, the catalog winner will win a choice between a fox bag or a kitty cat bag. So, that is your choice. Or you know what, I'll even go as far as adding one of the pouchy, it's not box bottom, it's just, or a fish bag. So we'll throw that in as an option. So you have 3 options. You have cat bag, fox bag, or fish bag. All animal bags. It was the animal themed and along, so there you have it. So I will draw that winner right now. And I'm mint rain winner, I promise. Promise, maybe Friday. I've got to get that out. I keep forgetting about it, and now until I record, and then I remember it. So the winner, 2 through 64. Ignore the 7 because I'm just going to cover it up because that was our last winner. 2 through 64. 33. 33. Okay. Let's go and look at 33. Winner of the catalog is Jasper's Pixie Dust. Post 33 with this adorable little stuffed giraffe. So, Jasper's Pixie Dust. You have 30 days to contact me. And for your prize. Now let me explain. And I've fought with this in my head a lot about how to contact winners. There's a lot of people that just stake out podcast groups and Ravelry groups to join contests. Which is fine, but I want to give away the prizes, the things I make, the things people donate to me. I want to make sure they're going to people that actually are watching and investing into the podcast. Because I could easily just send them an email or, Facebook or a Ravelry message. I could earburn them in a post and say, hey, come, you got a prize. So it's like this battle. I feel like, should I just contact them and say, hey, you want a prize? But then at the same time, it's like, what if they're one of those people? Because sometimes if you go look at people, what they posted, all they've posted is giveaways. All they've ever commented in any group on Ravelry is a giveaway. So it's like, are you really watching, or did you just happen to be able to throw something in? And it was a long contest. It was 3 months. So it's like, okay, well, you could find anything and put it in there and say, oh, I made this. That fits in. So, sorry if it seems kind of harsh that, this is the second time I've had to, draw names again. And I'm, but I give them a month. I'm giving you a month, okay? You have a month to, check in. And I personally will keep track of things I enter, So it's like, okay, I entered that knit along, so I have to go back and check it out and see if I won. And if I don't see it and I don't find out, that's my loss. I'm not going to be mad about it. Just, that's the way it is. So, there's my speech. So Jasper's Pixie Dust. please contact me for your choice of bag. So fish bag, fox bag, or kitty cat bag. So yay, I'm going to write that down, considering I forgot about that completely. So the Chasing Acorns was post 7, which was Storm Coast, also known as Stormy. And then the 100, or no, the catalog was post 33, Jasper's Pixie Dust. Okay, it's time for a drink. So that is that giveaway. Now we have another giveaway going on right now for the You So and So large project bag. And let's see. That I will run that until the end of the month. Actually, I'll run it for a while because she has a coupon code in our group going on for 10% off until February 6th. So around that time, February 6th, whatever that is. So that following week, so like the 9th or whatever, I will draw for that one. So I'll keep it open for a while. I like to keep them open for a while. People are late to, you know, watch, and I like to be able to get, you know, a decent amount of entries. So, you know, that's about a month. So you got a month to enter and a month to claim your prize. So let's see, I'll show you the picture of it. So there is the bag. It kind of looks like a carpet bag, you know, but it's fabric, but it has that weird tapestry kind of rug look. I think it's pretty awesome, and she said that she thought it was perfect for the cat lady. So, and she said it's large. So I have her medium sized. So it's probably, you know, this much bigger maybe. I don't know, I'm guessing. But what you need to do is go into that thread and go to her Etsy store and see, and just tell me what fabric you like. She's got tons. Oh my gosh, she's got tons. I mean, I could just look at them for hours. So, sorry. So that's that. Then, after her giveaway's up, we have another one. And that is for the Tangled Skein CA bag, which is a Japanese knot bag. So, basically the handle loops are here. It's perfect for walking around and knitting. It kind of hangs gently off your wrist. It's a sock size. You can put a yarnet in there. You can do a small shawl. It's a decent size. I mean, it's pretty much the same size as, yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same size as my medium drawstring, so. Of course, it's Christmas kitties. Her shop is currently on vacation right now because she is doing a major overhaul. She's going to have a bunch of ready-to-ship items in her shop by the end of the month, and she's got a coupon code. Oh, this You So-and-So coupon code. All these I have a coupon code thread, so check that out. But the You So-and-So coupon is CATLady10 for 10% off till February 6th. The Tangled Skein CA coupon code is CATLady15 for 15% off a $10 minimum purchase until March 31st, 2016, so until the end of camp. So yes, right now her shop is on vacation, and it will be open again at the end of the month, but the coupon's good for another 2 months, and we'll do the giveaway. But I'm pretty sure she'll still take orders. So she's crafting it herself on Ravelry. If you message her on Ravelry or you message her on Etsy in her store, I'm sure if you really want to get a bag now, and I bet you can use the coupon. I'm sure she would work with you. She's super nice. So, and then Okay. I will insert a picture of this one because that's what I plan to do. There will be a pattern giveaway soon. I'm not sure when, maybe around the same time. It's called Lilac Leaves. I keep looking at my notes over there. Just bring them over here. Lilac Leaves, and it's by Jessica of the Sarah Nova Crafts podcast, or Sarah Nova Crafts, and this is her first pattern. It's on sale right now for $3 as opposed to the normal price of $5 on Ravelry. So check it out, but I will have a copy to give away, and she gifted me a copy, which was very, very generous, so I look forward to knitting that up soon. But it's a scarf. She's got two variations, a scarf and a shawl. So, but you know, it's either a rectangular shawl or a thin scarf. So, actually, I'm interested in the shawl, but I feel like it would take me forever, and I don't have 2 skeins of same color fingering yarn that I would like to use. So anyways, we'll be doing a giveaway for that soon. So congratulations, Jessica, on your first pattern. So excited to check it out. So, and lastly, in podcast news, just be sure to check out the Ravelry group. There's a chit chat thread. There's like a healthy living thread, which everyone shares their ways of trying to be healthy, which, oh, I'm trying. It's rough. But anyways, there's the VCAN links. Seriously. Which VCAN is virtual knit night, video knit night, whatever. Basically, we all hang out on Google Hangouts, which is it's like Skype, FaceTime kind of chat thing. You have, you need a microphone, you need headphones, ideally, to cut down some of the echo. It's not required, but you need a microphone and a computer screen. And the camera's not really optional, or the camera's kind of optional too, but, you know. But Jen and I host Fridays. We haven't really have a schedule. It's whenever we're available on Fridays, so every other Friday, every Friday, we don't know. So whoever's free, whenever, we throw it in there. So always check back on Fridays for our VCAN link to see if we're having one. And I try to update midweek when I know one's coming up. So I don't know when the next one is. I don't know if I'm doing one Friday. I don't know if Jen's doing one Friday. So stay tuned. On to knitting. No more podcast news. So I have a cast on and finished object that you haven't seen. Oh, there it is. So this is this is my surprise baby hat, because it's a surprise for somebody. But the pattern is the hand-painted preemie hat by Amanda Schwab, who is a featured designer in camp. And it's the newborn size, so it's not preemie. So I'm hoping this fits a newborn head, which it looks like it. I think it will. Looks pretty big. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen a baby head in a long time. So it is done on size 2, US 2, using Knit Picks Imagination Colorways Munchkin. It is seed stitch, and oh my gosh, remind me never to do seed stitch ever again, especially in fingering weight yarn, because it was a pain in the butt. A hat that, should have took me like, a day's work, took me 2, and someone else in my camp did it too. And I'll get to that at the end of into the camp info. Well, we changed some of the guidelines at camp, so something like this may not count for the current point system. Mine worked, but she had one that was smaller. She actually made a preemie size one, and she's like, don't tell me this isn't going to count for the points, because this was terrible. And I agree, this was awful. So I'm like, no, we're going to work this out. We're going to make this count, because yeah, I agree. I don't want to make this again. And it has nothing to do with the pattern. It's super cute. It's just seed stitch. Seed stitch is just a pain in the butt. So, and again, if it was like worsted weight, maybe be better because it'd be quicker, but no. So anyways, that's that. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, my next finished object is my Silver. It's the shawl by Lisa Much, knitted on US 8 with Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Mandala colorway. So there she is. I don't know if hopefully it's focusing. I blocked the crap out of it. It's very lacy, but again, it was a fingering knit on size 8, so it's supposed to kind of be open. So my idea, or my style typically of wearing is the neckerchief kind of, which of course does not look right on the shirt, but kind of like that. I'm not 100% happy with it. I'm happy with it. I had some issues with it. So basically I spent all day Sunday knitting on this thing to finish it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this done. I was when you last saw me, I was on just about to start the 5 ridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about right here with it. So I had to do all those 5 ridges and then all the stockinette. So pretty much I just gung-ho. And I worked some on Friday. I did not knit Saturday. And then finished it Sunday. Bound it off. Set it to block, and it said bind off loosely. Didn't say anything about stretchy, whatever. It just said bind off loosely, and I should have known better. So I was being lazy and I just wanted to finish, so I did a traditional bind off. As loose as I could, you know, loosely. Nope, too tight. Thing is, this top edge is like super duper stretchy, you know. And then, so trying to get the bottom edge to come down, it's not. It's not as stretchy. So, and with the traditional bind off, it was just like, no, it wasn't going anywhere. So it ended up more of a, like a weird shape. It was just like, and it's kind of a diamond shape. It's like, it's a lot, it gets taller at the top here. You kind of see what it does there? Yeah, it's just, and I looked at project pages and everybody that marked theirs as unhappy, it was the same thing. It's this weird diamond shape. So I, the next day, said, okay, I'm not happy with it. Oh, here was it. I was going to just leave it. So I was like, okay, fine. It's done for camp. I'll leave it. I weighed it. 95 grams. So if you're not familiar with camp, you get points every 50 grams. So I'm 5 grams off from getting my second 50 gram chunk of points because I would have had to claim the under 50 or the less than 50 grams for the second half because it would have been my 50 and then 45. I'm like, no, okay, fine. We're going to take it out. We're going to knit a couple extra rows on it because I still had yarn left. I still had like 15 grams left. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to knit an extra row or two of the stockinette at the end, and actually I added an extra garter ridge at the end for the border because the way it was set up, it didn't look like enough. So anyways, and then I bound off with the knit 2 through the back loop bind off method, which is a stretchy bind off. So, which yeah, it was actually nice bind off. So I will try that on a pair of socks, see how I like it compared to a knit 1. Knit 2 through the back loop, or what is it? I don't know. The other one had involved a knit 1 in there somewhere, or I think you knit. Yeah, so you, at the beginning you knit 1, you knit 2, then knit them through the back loop, knit 1, knit them through the back loop on the other side, on the other needle, on the right needle. So anyways, so it's similar, but this one was just straight up knit 2 through the back loop the whole way, which was easy. So, so yeah, if I did this again, which because I loved the design of it. The ridges are really cool. I mean, everything, I really love the design. So if I was to do it again, I would do the setup differently. Because if you look at a traditional shawl, you cast on 3, and then you do your increases. See? You have to read the pattern. It's a free pattern. I'll have to read the pattern again and compare it to a traditional cast on. But you cast it on 5, and then you like knit a couple rows before you even did an increase. And yeah, so I think it created this weird little bump at the top that creates this diamond shape when it blocks out. So anyways, it's done though. And it's 101 grams. So guess what? I got my 50 grams, my 50 grams, and then my under 50 grams for the 1 gram, which I feel like so bad to take those points, but that's how it works. So I got buco points for that, so that was worth it. So yeah. Oh, and ripping it out. So, okay, I could have tinked back, which, who wants to tink back 270 something stitches of a bind off? Okay, that sounds terrible. So then someone suggested in my little chat group, why don't you pick up, like, kind of like when you do an afterthought heel, you kind of like pick up the stitches on one of the rows, then you undo it. Okay, so I start looking at it. It's got a garter edging and then stockinette. I could not figure out how to pick up the stitches of the garter edging, and then I'm kind of like, then I'm going along and it's kind of on an angle, so I'm kind of going, look, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And again, 200 and something stitches, I couldn't do it. So, just ripped it back a couple of rows. All the stitches flying everywhere. And I just picked them up and half of them were twisted. So when I did my, after I had them all situated on the needle, I just purled through the back loop, through 90% of the stitches there, and it worked out. I was off. My stitch count might be a little off somewhere, but at this point it's like, it was like 2 stitches or something and not noticeable. So, it's done. And ends are woven in. It's posted in my group, in my camp thread, so it's done. And it's beautiful. The yarn is beautiful. I love it. I love the Tosh Merino light. Someone had a D-stash for Tosh Merino light and some strawberry pie or something. 2 skeins for $40 shipped. I'm like, I really wanted it. Because that seems like a good price, $20 a piece. And I mean, it wasn't really my colors. This is like blue purple. Oh, and I got bonus points for color for this. This was my January color item. So, and it's so drapey, and I love this yarn. I would definitely use this yarn again. So, so those are my finished objects, and so works in progress. We have my hitchhiker, and this is a pattern by Martina Beam, and I'm using size 4s. These 4s? Sure. US 4, and the color is Unicorn Poop by Love Knots, who is Rachel. She has an Etsy shop and a podcast that she occasionally does. But look at that. Beautiful. Oh, this is what my yarn, my ball winder does to my yarn, so it's essentially now in the trash. Like, literally I threw it in the trash because I don't want anyone's yarn to turn into this, because this is a mess. So I'm in the market for a new ball winder, so if anyone knows of any cheap ball winders, I know there's one at Knit Picks for $20, but I've heard so-so things about it, and I guess I'm going to get what I pay for, but I can't spend $60 on a ball winder. So I need an inexpensive ball winder. That one came from a garage sale that my stepdad brought home for me, and I got a good year or so out of it. Maybe longer, maybe 2 years. I've had it for a while. Maybe 3 years. I don't know. That had a good run for being a garage sale ball winder. That gave me a good run. So, but again, I need something inexpensive. So, any ideas? But this is a hitchhiker, which last you saw, it was here. Come on, get with it. Got the butterfly there. So. What are you doing? Okay, this is just an odd because it's like diagonally. So, trying to hold it straight. There we go. Okay, so I was here, so I've knit all the way up here. So I've added, I think it was on like 13. I think I've added 5 more teeth. So they're just little sections of pattern repeats. And this is a paid for pattern, so I can't give it away. This is a very popular pattern, and this looks amazing with this yarn. I mean, even like when it pools a little like that, it just looks cool. Totally cool with that. So this was the perfect yarn for this pattern. I'm gonna love this. This is part of the unofficial Poop Along, hashtag Poop Along, with Jen, who is Stormcoast, who is the Uncreative Crafter. And she is also doing a hitchhiker in the Unicorn Poop colorway. It's funny because hers looks like totally different than mine. Like, I got this in the summertime, and mine's a lighter gray. Hers is a darker gray, and it's got her colors I think are more neon, and her gray is darker. Mine are more pastel-y and light gray, and mine's sparkly. Hers wasn't sparkly. So it's just really funny, but they both look amazing, and I mean, okay, it's unicorn poop. You can do whatever you want with it as far as, you know, they're all kind of one of a kind, so it's pretty cool. So if you are working on a hitchhiker, because Lynn, who is Toll Baby from the Two Tangled Skeins, is also doing a hitchhiker. She's not doing a unicorn poop, but she's part of our unofficial Poop Along hitchhiker knit along. So if you are doing a hitchhiker and you want to be a part of our informal knit along, just say, hey, I'm doing one too. And use the hashtag Poop Along, even though you're not using unicorn poop. That is the official hashtag of the hitchhiker unicorn poop knit along. So join in. And that's in my Use So and So bag. Cute little owls. Which is appropriate because Jen is a snowy owl, so I'm putting it in my owl bag. That wasn't planned. So next is a new cast on and work in progress. So I just cast this on the other day. This is the Bow Tie Ascot by Pam Powers. Oh, I gotta remember to move my marker on both of these. So let's find a picture of this. This is a paid for pattern. I have made one of these before. This pattern is beautiful. This pattern is also a giant pain in the butt. Just gonna say it. It's long. It's wordy. It's got cables on the edges, which are kind of a pain. I'm not a huge cable. I like the way cables look, and I don't mind doing cables, but cables on the edges, not as fun. Kind of annoying. But I also got this, I don't know if I ever really talked about this. I probably showed it off once, but this is the first time I'm using it. This is a kind of a chart pattern keeper. It's like 2 magnets covered with some ribbon, and this was from Sue, the Tangled Skein CA. And it's kind of a prototype that she's playing with, and yeah, so that's helping me keep my spot, because okay, there's lots of words on it. There's lots of words and lines on this whole thing, this pattern. Like every line is practically written out, which is good and bad. Like, I don't know, it's just, I think it could have been simplified a bit, but this helps me keep track of where I am, so that's where I am. I am halfway through the bow part, and it needs to be constructed at the end. Sorry, okay. So here it is. And this is on US 5s using Lion Brand Heartland in the Redwood colorway. This is for a friend. I made one for her last year, and she wants to make one. She asked if I could make one for her cousin. So this will be a red one, and yeah, you pretty much have to sew it together. So this is part of the bow that will fold under and be tacked down. And then I'm working on the other half of the bow, and then then you actually do the scarf part, and it loops through the middle here. So it's like a ascot style. So it's moving along fairly quick. I've only worked on it for, what, 2 days? And I remember this from last time, it gets real funky in the middle here, which again, I can sew it up. It's going to be sewed, like, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on right here. Like, I'm going to be cinching this up anyways. But it's like, it's kind of like holy there, and it drives me nuts. It really does. Like, it gets real loose, but because there's a lot of weird there's a lot of increases in the cables next to it. It's like, not cool. So, and I think I'm going to screw it up there somewhere, but whatever. Not going back now. I think I purled when I should have knit in these couple stitches here. But I'm giving it to someone that doesn't really sew, or knit, so it probably won't be noticeable. I changed same with the Zilver. I changed the make one left right to knit front back because for the Zilver, I didn't want to have to remember when it was left and right, and I didn't want to have to think about it. For this one, doing a make one left right next to a cable was, I mean, you're already pulling on the yarn to twist the cable. So then I'm trying to make one out of there, and I just knit front back. I mean, all the increases are all along the sides. It's not noticeable. I mean, I can't notice it at all. So that's what I did there. So that's coming along. And this is going to be my February bonus points for color and around your neck. So this I will not officially finish this till February. I'm going to try to actually finish all of it except for, I haven't decided if I gotta double check. I mean, it doesn't count until it's usable, functional. So technically I feel like I could bind it off because it's still not functional until I actually sew the thing together. But I could just leave it and bind off, then sew it together just to be 100% clear that I did not finish it. Because the bind off is going to be like 20-something stitches. It's going to take 2 seconds. So I probably will. I'll probably just leave it on the needles, bind it off, then sew the thing together. So I'll be working on this for a while to get it done because I just like to get it done. You know, it's like a complicated kind of thing. It's not that it's not enjoyable. It's just like I have to be super focused. I have to look at the paper like constantly. It's not like the Hitchhiker where I can just pick this up and knit it now. I don't need the pattern. I know the pattern. It's just a continual repeat. This one, it's just too much. So, sweater has not been touched, so I'm not pulling that out. And that's that. And that was in my Doctor Who Exploding TARDIS bag that I made. Okay. Oh, and also with that, it took me 3 times to even start the thing. And you know what? Last year, which if you've ever used Time Hop app on your iPhone or whatever, it tells you what you posted last year at this time. Well, guess what I posted last year at this time? Same exact scarf, just the other one that I made. And what happened last year with that scarf, it took me like 3 times to start because every time I kept doing it, I'd screw up and have to pull it out. Do a couple rows, screw up, pull it out. 3rd time's a charm, I guess. Same thing this time. Screwed up the first couple times, had to pull it out. So yeah, I was like thinking maybe this time it would just be good, you know. Once you kind of generally get the cable pattern, it's fine, because like the front and the cables don't change. Those are constant. It's the center that changes. There's going to be short rows in there, there's increases in certain spots, and so that's what requires the line by line, pretty much, directions. And there's a large bow and a small bow variant, so there's different things you got to make sure you're following the right pattern parts. So, that was knitting. So I got a lot of knitting done. I'm getting pretty good. I'm plugging through pretty good. So looking at my projects on my project page, I've not touched my blanket. I really need to focus some time on my blanket because I want to work on my blanket. But I just feel like I've gotten these I want to get these bonus things out of the way. So I got my designer, color, and item, like head item. So yeah, this hat counted for designer, Amanda Schwab, and for your head, which is for January. And then the silver counted for my blue, my color. So I got all my bonus points for January. Got my working on the bonus points there for February, and then I'm going to work on the Carrie shawl by Megan Sanders for my bonus points for February. So that is that. I think I'll have to look at her patterns and see if there's something else I want to pick. But I already have that one, so it's going to be the easiest one to do, and I've been wanting to do it like since summer. All right, on to sewing. So like I said, this was different sewing. This was not bags. This was not project crafty sewing, really. This was cosplay sewing. So if you haven't guessed, I like Star Wars. Me and my husband like Star Wars. And if you haven't guessed, we really like BB-8. 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 Big fluffy BB-8 I showed last time. But anyways. I want to make a Rey costume. So Rey is the female Jedi character in the Star Wars movie. And here is what she looks like. Here's her costume, if you don't know. So it's kind of like a tunic style tank top with a little notched neck. Kind of just some baggy capri style-ish. Not even capri, they're like long shorts, I guess. But they're like baggy pajama pants style, sort of. And then they kind of tie at the bottom. They got kind of a wrap around the bottom. She's got this amazing kind of gauze like wrap, and then these arm wraps. There's some, carries an awesome staff, and she's got some cool boots. So, I figured I'd just start with a top and a bottom. And so I pulled out some scrap fabric, which happens to be bed sheets. The colors actually weren't so bad. And I made a prototype of a shirt. See, I'll buy fabric when I do it, but, so there was the shirt. And I'll pop in the picture I have of me wearing the shirt. So, and I just, like I said, I just cut out the neck, and it doesn't have to be, I'm not going for completely screen accurate here. I'm just going for better than store-bought here, because, if you look at the adult Rey costumes from Costume City, they suck. So pure and simple. And basically her arms actually look a little ragged, so if I got a jersey knit, a cotton knit kind of fabric, I could cut the edges and leave them, and then do a little bias tape around the neckline and the notch is what I would try. I'm not a great sewer with apparel. I'm not a great sewer with bags. I'm okay. Everyone thinks I'm great, or everyone says I'm great, whatever, but they're being nice. I'm alright. Bags are one thing. Apparel, things gotta fit. And that fit. Okay, I'm happy with the fit of that. It does need a little more, I might need a little bit more flare at the bottom. I think I did write down notes. Add an inch for the hem. Okay, and add an inch width at the bottom, yeah. My pants, on the other hand, I used a generic pajama pants tutorial. Which, okay, these actually were fine. They weren't baggy enough, though. And they barely fit. So I traced an existing, and for the shirt I traced an existing tank top style shirt and then kind of just wind the sleeves a bit. The pants, I traced an existing pair of pants, but I did not leave enough allowance for bagginess and hem and stuff. So I got them on. And it's not really much to see, just a pair of pants. And again, out of a bed sheet. But they're like, once I get them on, it was hard to get them off. So there was not enough give. The bottom was, I'm trying to remember if the bottom was baggy or not. But ideally, I'm going to add an extra, maybe 2 inches to the whole thing. And I might need to make them a little bit longer because it looks like in the picture there, they really are kind of scrunched up at the bottom, so they're really baggy there. So they're pushed up. So they're not just that length, they're probably like, they probably are capri length and then shoved up a bit. So they have to be a little longer. And yeah, I have a link to a leather cuff on Etsy. Someone makes like a leather cuff that's a replica. I have a tutorial for her glass. She also, in the beginning, wears this head wrap thing with these goggles. So if I want to avoid having to wear like a wig, or you know, try to replicate the hair at all, I'll construct this head wrap thing, but I'll need the goggles. So there's a tutorial to make the goggles. Ideally, I'd like to make this before May 4th, because that's Star Wars Day, but being that camp's going on, I mean, that would give me a solid 2 months after March. No, it'd give me a month. Okay, that would give me a month after camp. So if I can pick at it here and there and do a few things, maybe get the actual shirt pants done. The gauze wrap kind of sews to the shoulders and gathers and kind of crosses. And then ideally, I think another tutorial mentions sewing at the sides so it doesn't shift. Those 3 parts could be pretty simple. The pants, the shirt, the wrap. I could order the cuff. It was like 20 bucks. Boots are going to be a problem. I need to search for boots. There's like this European, British, is it United UK? I don't remember. I think it was in pounds. Company that I think I want to say those were the boots. Those were the boots. I just want to say those were the boots. Or at least those were the boots in one of the, or at least for the promos or something, because they look just like her boots. Don't come in my size. I have size 11 feet. They're huge, so that sucks. So I gotta work on finding some boots. And it really just needs to be kind of an UGG style boot. It's really like, it's hard. I don't have a good picture of her boots in the printout, but it's really kind of a wool, it's a wool, like wool boot, but it's got like a leather heel, which, okay, if I just got a dark brown wool boot, it would do. So that's on my radar. So if you have any tips or tricks on sewing cosplay costumes, let me know. That is it for sewing. So stash. I did not get any crafty stash, I don't think. I'm trying to think if I got something, and I don't think I did. But if I find something that I missed, I will show it next week. I am so unorganized, it's not even funny. But I did go clothes shopping and got some new clothes. So this was one of my new shirts. So new pants, they're just kind of black yoga pants. I got 3 pairs of the pants, one black, gray, and blue. Got a bunch of sweaters, because I don't have any long sleeve shirts. I got some long sleeve shirts, got some jeans, 8 pair of jeans. I have a hard time finding jeans. I'm tall. Again, I'm tall, so it's hard to find these tall clothes in stores. Oh, but I did buy, did I bring those? When I was buying a bunch of clothes, I saw these mittens, which, okay, taboo, knitter buys gloves. But they're just a convertible mitten. So it's got a little button there. Of course, they're dark, so they're hard to see. But the button's there, which of course I don't need a button in. It's got the fingerless gloves, the thumb. They were cheap. I'm like, okay, I'm buying clothes anyways, I'll get them. They're cheap. Already, look, the seam is coming apart there, so I need to resew that. Because that's supposed to be sewn down. Or so, yeah, how was that? it's supposed to be sewn to the finger here. There it is. So that needs to be fixed. And then I'm looking down here in one of these. It was this one. Nope, I think it was this one. Yeah, there's a hole in it. Well, I gotta seam that up. And that's a blank, I think that's a blank hole. It looks like there's a loose piece of yarn there. But then I'm looking, you know, of course I analyze these things way too much. I always wanted to make a pair of these, but I never found a pattern that I particularly liked, or I just never took the time to really do it. But like looking at these, like, man, these are so poorly made. It's like ridiculous. It's like a crime. So, I mean, I should probably take them back, but yeah, whatever. I'm just going to sew them up because it'll take 2 seconds to sew them up. It'll take me longer to walk back into the store. It's in the mall. I don't want to go to the mall. So, but it's freezing outside, and I typically just wear fingerless mitts, and those aren't cutting it. So I need the extra warmth for my fingers. I really want to make a pair of thrummed mittens. I never really knew what those were. I mean, I've heard the term thrown around, and I knew they required some wool or raw, like roving. But I never really knew what they were until I looked it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, those look amazing. They're pretty much like fleece line, or yeah, like you knit like the roving into it, so then that all sticks out on the inside. So they're all like fluffy goodness on the inside. So I want a pair of mittens, and I want a pair of slippers with that, because that sounds awesome. And actually I did run across a pattern for a convertible mitten thrummed style. So, but you gotta like plan it, you gotta make them bigger so you make room for the fluff. And yeah, so I'm probably not gonna happen soon, but it's on my list of things to make because those sound cool. And I do have lots of scraps that I can use, so. That's all for stash. So yeah, I won't show you all my clothes. I'm still gonna put them away. I got a pile of clothes, so. Still need to get shoes and boots, and I thought, well, if I find a pair of boots that happen to look like Ray boots, then I'll just buy those and wear them. Because, you know, if they're worn by the time I cosplay with them, that's fine. It heaves in the look, because she's kind of desert dirty, and, you know, so ideally I should take the clothes that I make and kind of rub them in the dirt, because she's kind of dirty. So that's it for stash. So weekend review. It was not an eventful week. Last time I recorded was Wednesday. Didn't do anything the rest of the week. VKN on Friday. So Jen started the VKN around 7, and we actually had a full house at one time, which usually doesn't happen on a Friday. Usually Fridays are pretty low key. But we had a bunch of campers come, so a couple of Jen's campers, the Snowy Owls, and then one of my campers was in there, but I didn't realize it until towards the end. She's like, oh, I'm on Snow. I'm like, oh, oops. You know, it's like I see people's profile pictures, and I think hers is of a cat, so I've never seen her. I've seen her on another VKN once before, and that was before camp started, so I've never really, but you know, it's like I never really formally met her, you know, so I apologize, Valerie, if you were watching this, that I did not recognize you, and I'm happy you were at the weekend. And I was on there until about 11 or so. 12? I don't know. Usually on Fridays I try to cap my time at like midnight, because, you know, I do need to go to bed and the kids are up early, so. And David's doing something. That doesn't sound good. David? Okay, be right back. Okay, no idea what he's doing, but he's back in his room, he's fine. So that was the weekend. So then Saturday, we went to the mall, and we went clothes shopping for the kids. They needed new clothes, everyone needed new clothes. And we came home with another BB-8. If you've heard me mention before, we have the BB-8 Spiro. This is the Disney Store BB-8. And it's not remote controlled, it just makes makes noise. Makes kind of weird noises. And then it rolls around, which I'm not going to put it on the ground, but it just has this wheel on the bottom. kind of so it'll move forward. And I don't know. It was more for the kids. I say it was more for the kids, but who's been playing with more? Me. It's pretty hilarious, but it was rather inexpensive and something for the kids to play with because we don't really let them play with the Sphero because the Sphero was kind of pricey and you got to use the iPhone, and I don't really like giving my 3-year-old an iPhone to steer around an expensive electronic. So we got that. And then it broke the next day and I ended up taking it back on Monday and getting a new one. So it was just the sound all of a sudden stopped working, so I don't know. But my son also took it in his room with him. So who knows what he was banging it around. So I don't know. So Sunday, oh, and then Saturday night I went out with my friends, some friends, my babysitter and some of her friends really. We went out to Buffalo Wild Wings and got some appetizers and beer, and it was pretty good. So Sunday, Jim went clothes shopping. So, because it's pretty much impossible to do anything at the mall when you have the kids. So we managed to get them clothes, and that was it. So Jim went shopping on Sunday, and I stayed in my pajamas all day, worked on my Zilver. That was pretty much Sunday. Monday, I went clothes shopping. Went to the mall, I dropped David off. Emily went to school, I dropped David off at preschool, and I had to shop like the wind because, you know, you think 2 hours would be plenty of time, but it's really not that long. You know, especially in a mall. It's not like I'm going into one store. I went into multiple stores. And I gotta try everything on, and then nothing fits, and then I gotta try everything on again, and then nothing fits, and then I leave the store with nothing. Then I go to the next store and repeat until I found the store that I finally got like most of the things from. So, so that was that. It was not fun, but it was needed. I still need shoes, I still need boots, and I still need bras. So I did not get everything I needed yet, but good enough. And now that's it. That's it. Yesterday didn't do anything. Today is Wednesday and take Emily to karate today since I didn't go yesterday. She's close to testing for her yellow belt, and she was kind of supposed to do it back in September, I think, and she just wasn't ready. And then November she just wasn't ready, and then December just wasn't ready. January, I don't know, she might be ready and they test at the end of the month, but I think we're gonna up her up to 2 times a week, which is going to be good for her, but it's going to be crummy for my schedule because it's just such a rush to get her there, and then we come home and I gotta rush dinner. But I just don't think she's picking it up as well because we were doing twice a week when she was in the little kid class, and then we stopped because the prices went up because the big kid class is longer, and so it costs more money. So I still am not looking forward to the bill that it's going to be to raise it twice a week, but it's a waste of money if we're only putting her in there once a week and she's not really sticking. Nothing's really sticking because, yeah, it's only once a week. It's like, and she doesn't really practice at home. It's like I try to follow what she's doing so I could like help her at home, but I can't. I can't. It's like, oh, well, do that kick again. What kick was that again? You know, it's like, and then she's like, I don't know, and I'm like, I don't remember, and I don't want to teach it to her wrong, and so it's like we can't really practice much. So I think twice a week, and I saw more substantial improvement when she was doing it twice a week. So we'll go back to twice a week, probably. I think our billing cycle rotates like the end of the month, so I'll probably start next month. And so we'll see how that goes, because I really want her to get her yellow belt. She's been in a yellow stripe for forever. I feel like it's time for her to step it up, and I think it helps her self-esteem and her make it feel worthwhile when she finally accomplishes a level. So of course and then after that is orange. So that's today. And I'll bring my hitchhiker. My hitchhiker will be my karate knits because I cannot bring that ascot red scarf thing anywhere. That's got to be done strictly here, 0 interruptions. Sweater is kind of bulky, so we'll do and that I have some shaping, so I have patterning. So hitchhiker will be the one to go. And actually, when I'm done with that hitchhiker, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cast on another one. In my other love knots. I have purple gradient love knots yarn that I think will look nice in that. It's just such a cool pattern. So, and it'll look fun as a gradient, so. And the garter stitch, I just think, well, I don't know, I just think it'll look good, so I'm going to try that. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm so rambling. So, I will be updating winter camp info next. So, if you are just here for the podcast, I will see you next week. Okay, winter camp update. Hello, snow leopards. Our points as of yesterday, when I tallied them up, are 2,124, which is pretty darn good. Arctic Fox, I have a few of the other teams' current numbers. Some of them aren't as current, but as of today, Arctic Fox was at 2,207. Team Ermine was around 1,500. Arctic Wolf was 1,936 as of yesterday. Polar Bear was at 1,544. Snowy Owl was at 1,614 as of 1/9. So what was that? Over the weekend. Team Panda, I don't think has been updated. So I think that was all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 7. So yeah, so we are doing pretty good. And to be honest, we don't have Mina, the knitting expat, is in our group, and she has not updated her points yet because she's on a sock knitting marathon, and she hasn't made 11 pairs of socks in 13 days. Which might be more than that at this point. I don't know. I haven't checked it, but I think she's at 11 pairs of socks in 13 days. I will not make 11 pairs of socks in the next 2 years, probably. So, go Mina. But she has not taken the time to put in her project pages yet because she's busy knitting. She doesn't have time to do anything. She probably doesn't have time to eat. So those will be a lot of points to boost our score too. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. So go team Snow Leopard. You guys are rock. And you guys are so chatty and you guys are interacting so well. I'm very happy with my team. So, and you've made some really awesome projects. Bonus points. Okay, so Team Snow Leopard. This is for my Snow Leopards. This is your bonus point opportunity for this week. So I've been trying to do each week, and I think I'm on target, right? This is only the second week, right? I don't know if I missed a week in there. I'm gonna double check. No, okay, I think we're good. We have 2 more weeks. So I have 100 points to give out. So this is why I've given out 25 last week, and it was a random chatter draw. So this is the bonus points for this week. You have to watch this episode, which I will post in the chat. And your question is, the first person to answer this question and send me a message on Ravelry will receive 25 points. What is a snow leopard's main source of food? Now, it's got to be the main source of food, because they eat lots of things, but after Googling it a couple different places, their main source of food was something. And the first person to answer that correctly will get 25 bonus points. Next week I want to do maybe an Instagram contest. I'm trying to just spread them out. So I did the chatter on Ravelry. I'm doing the bonus question for the podcast. And now we're doing maybe next week we'll do an Instagram. So if you are on Instagram and I'm not following you, please message me. Tell me who you are. Tell me to follow you. And next week I'll come up with an Instagram giveaway. Or maybe I'll post it later this week, because I'll probably be like, okay, post a picture of your work in progress and tag it with such and such hashtag, and then I'll draw from the hashtags. And I'll give you a week to do it. So yeah. I don't know. I'm not good at this. So that's that. So we've had some rule changes, which if you are a snow leopard, I tagged every single one of you in my thread, in the chatter thread, so you should be aware of this. However, if you are not a snow leopard and you are checking this out just for some extra camp info, I'll go over this anyways. I posted this in the general chatter thread because there just came a lot of questions that were just a little more oddball projects that didn't quite fit the just generic 50 grams, under 50 grams kind of thing. So basically we've come up with a rule that anything that is under 10 grams will count for 1 point. So it's going to be in the same category as a blanket square, as a small blanket square, because a blanket square for like the mitered squares, they're small. They're under 5, they're like 5, 6 grams or under, they're under 10 grams, 1 point. But if you're making a large blanket, such as I know Lynn from Two Tangled Skein is making a large blanket, so each square, it literally takes a whole skein of yarn. Originally, we were going to say blanket squares, a square is a square. Boy. Now that we've kind of clarified, this is new, we're learning. So, and all these questions are coming up, they're like, oh, that's a good point. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, what do we do about this? Oh, what do we do about that? So, if you make a large blanket, you have to, the only rule for that is each square has to have its own project page. So, because essentially it's a big thing. So you could just, and that's a little more work on yarn, but if you want the points for it, take it. Because it's technically most likely you're not going to finish the whole blanket. It's potential if you're not working on a lot of other things, sure. But, and if you are working on a whole blanket and you have full intentions of finishing it, then you can just weigh it as a whole, one big project. But if you're making large blanket squares and you're sure you're not going to finish it, then each square needs its own project page with the yarn, the weight, etc. You get the points for it. But anything like Bluebirds of Happiness, the preemie hats, and so this is a newborn hat. This came in at 16 grams, but if you made this smaller, like someone in my team did, a couple of them, and the thing was, this was a featured designer pattern, so that's what made it tricky too, because if you make something that's under 10 grams, you cannot get bonus points for it. So you do not get bonus points for designer, you don't get bonus points for color, because it's just, we just don't want to dole out so many points, like, I make a square that's blanket square that's blue, mitered square it's blue, and you get 21 points for that, so it's like, we gotta make rules. There's gotta be rules. That's the only way it's gonna stay orderly. So, for anyone that made them prior to our rule change, grandfathered in. So everyone that posted in my thread that already made a preemie hat or anything that was under 10 grams, you're good. I changed your points are the same. I wrote a little note in there saying you're good. You're good. So, but anyone currently, like if you haven't posted anything yet, it's not going to count. So I apologize. But again, I tagged you all right away for you to see on Ravelry. So hopefully everyone saw it. I had a few extra questions and discussion with some of you, so I feel like we got that clarified. But another project example was someone is going to be working on like an advent calendar mitten calendar, I guess, a mitten calendar thing. So 24 mittens, which I want to do too, actually. All scraps of fingering, that will all go together as an advent calendar. So she was wondering if each mitten would be 1 point, or if she could count that cumulatively. Here's the deal with that. If you decide now, I'm going to finish this project, then yes, you can count it as a cumulative whole, because that will be worth a decent amount of points. I looked at the project page and kind of calculated it out. That would be worth a lot of points if you did it all. Because they're decent sized mittens too, they're not little mittens, they're like a kid-sized mitten. But individually, they're under 10 grams. If you do not think you will finish the project by the end of the camp, then you can claim 1 point per mitten. So, but you need to decide up front. You can't say, I'm going to finish, not finish, and then count them as 1 point. And you can't say, I'm not going to finish, then you finish. And we just want some accountability. So if you think you'll finish all of them, whatever cumulative project, if it's one project page, then good. If you don't think you will, then you get the 1 point. Bluebirds, baby headbands, things that are just tiny, 1 point. So that's just the best we could do with all the questions and just to keep everything fair and clear. And again, like I said, any 1 point project, so anything under 10 grams, it's a 1 point project, does not qualify for bonus points. So keep that in mind when you're looking at patterns of featured designers or doing certain colors. If it's a 1 point thing, it's not going to be counted for bonus points. So any questions, please ask me, ask any of the camp leaders, post in the general chatter thread, post in the Snow Leopard thread, message me, message Sarah, True Canuck Girl. We all have a little group on Facebook that we all kind of gather the questions, and we all make these decisions together as a team. So, which is great because it'd be too much pressure to make them by myself. So you can't just blame me. Blame all of us. so that's it. Not a lot of camp news, really. You know, it's going pretty smooth. I mean, we've had a few bumpy spots when it comes to these kind of rule clarifications and keeping things orderly, but I think everyone's kind of getting the hang of it. Again, I'm verifying everyone's points, so please look at your posts, because if I change your points, I'm going to, as of last week, I think, because I changed a bunch of points and didn't write anything, but I've changed a couple more since, and I've written a note, because some people aren't calculating them quite right. So I want to make sure that you see what you've done that's not right, so you'll remember for next time. So if you see any notes by your stuff, besides the 10 gram and under thing, that's fine. I mean, but if you see that I changed your points, please just know that, you know, see what you did wrong, kind of thing. And I'm keeping a spreadsheet of everyone's points, trying to keep it updated. So every couple days I go in and update the points. I keep the updated number at the top of the finished object thread. So yeah, keep checking that. And that's it. Remember the question of the week: what is the snow leopard's main source of food? As soon as the first person who answers the question and sends me a message on Ravelry will get 25 bonus points. And I will be sure to post in the thread right while I'm uploading, so you'll have time to prepare to watch this episode. So that's all I have. I'm very happy with how camp is going, and very happy with my progress I'm making. Oh, you know what? I can show you real quick. So if you did not watch the regular podcast, I'll show you my projects real quick that I'm working on for camp. If you already saw the podcast, then you can go, because I'm just going to show the same projects again. So this was my baby hat that I made, and that's in the finished objects thread already. These are both in the finished objects thread. So that was Amanda Schwab preemie hat. This is the newborn size, so that's why mine was 16 grams. So this is the Silver by Lisa Much. So that turned out, I had some issues with it, and go in the chatter thread to see my conversation about that. But it's lovely. It really is. It's a Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Mandala colorway. So it'll be my neckerchief. I'm not happy with it didn't turn out wide enough. It turned out really deep. Like, this is pretty deep. But the width did not, you know, it should be longer, so that it can, because this is going to constantly fall off. So I'm going to need to either tuck it in somehow or pin it. I mean, I probably could just tuck it, but then does it look weird tucked? I kind of always like the little hanging bits, but obviously not working with the shirt. But super soft, Tosh Merino Light. I love this yarn. This is a new favorite, so I'm glad I got to try it, because I really like it. I'm working on the Hitchhiker, and if you are working on a Hitchhiker, please feel free to join our unofficial Hitchhiker Poop Along. Me and Jen from The Uncreative Crafter are both doing Hitchhikers in the Unicorn Poop colorway by Love Dots on Etsy. So this is where I'm at so far. It's a little hard to show off, but most of you have seen a Hitchhiker before. So it's just got these little teeth that build row by row. And this is just really cool color. It's a gray with these pops of color, and some weird pooling there, but I still like it. It's just cool. I'm kind of hoping it does it in spots again, so it's not the only one, which it looks like it might be starting right there a little bit. So that's that. But anyways, if you are making a Hitchhiker or using a color that's unicorn poopish for something, feel free to join the Poop Along hashtag on Instagram. Unofficial. Nothing, no prizes or anything. The next is a bow tie ascot by Pam Powers. This pattern kind of stinks. It's great. It's beautiful, but it's a pain. It's worth it when it's done, because again, hold up very long. It's very pretty, but it's just a lot of line. You gotta read it line by line. Like, literally, like, most of the wrong sides are the same, but like the right side, every row is like slightly different. So it's kind of just I can't take this out anywhere. I have to stay in and work on it. So, but that's where I got so far. So, and then it has to be constructed together. So this folds over to make the bow. And then this other half of the bow will build and fold over. Or I think this, whatever, it's constructed somehow. And then you make the neck part, and then it comes through like an ascot, so it pulls through. So, and this is the Lion brand Red Heart, or Redwood colorway, Heartland. Lion brand Heartland in the Redwood colorway. So this is my February, this will be my February color and item around your neck, red. Hitchhiker's not going to get me any bonus points, and that was just really a fun knit-along between me and the Uncreative Crafter, so who is Team Snowy Owl. And then I have my sweater. I have not made any progress on my sweater. I really wanted to get the silver done, so I'm glad that's done. So I want to get the ascot done just because since it takes so much concentration and time, like focus, I just want to just get it done. So I'm going to get most of it done because I can't bind off until February to count for the item color. So I will get all the way to the bind off and I will let it sit. And then it can sit, and then I will bind it off and construct it in February. And then I'll, as soon as I get done with that, I'll start focusing on the sweater more. And again, if I finish the sweater early, I have yarn. I think I was going to make socks. I was going to make the CC's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks, who CC is Java Pearl, who is a fellow snow leopard. She is the featured designer for March. Yeah. So I'm making her socks for bonus points. I don't want to give away the pattern. It is a free pattern if you sign up for her email thing, group news thing, or whatever. Just go to this, go look up this pattern, and if you sign up for her mailing list, that's what I was looking for. You get this pattern for free, and it's just it's a vanilla sock. So how perfect is that? And she uses a fish lips kiss heel, which so do I. So it's essentially I'm making my socks as I always would make it, but I get the bonus points because I'll follow the instructions here and use the fish lips kiss heel like she does, and I'll do she does a slightly different cuff than I do, and I'll do that. And yeah, I'll stick to the pattern. So that'd be cool. And then I'm going to use this, which has a green in it. So that'll be my green. So essentially, if I work on my sweater and I actually get somewhere with it, I can just finish it. Which would be cool, because it's not really, that was really just my green thing. So that's going to be my bonus points for designer and color. And feet. Yeah, there we go. I got all of them. That's one project for all my bonus points. And then my bonus points for February, I have the color around your neck. And then the designer, I was going to do Megan Sanders. She has a shawl called the Carrie Shawl. So I want to do that. And I was going to use my hand spun, but I got so many other pretty yarns I could use too. I really want to use my hand spun, but I may not have enough. I need to swatch it and see. She gave me kind of some alterations I could make to make it work. But yeah, we'll see. So that's next month's projects. So yeah, what else do I have on my project list? I have my whole spreadsheet. So hand preemie hat, silver. I'm on the bow tie. Started the sweater, started the hitchhiker. I got the carry. I want to do the handbrake, which is a cowl. That won't give me any bonus points either. And that's I think, and my blanket, which I've not worked on my blanket. I want to work on my blanket, so I gotta give some love to my blanket. The blanket squares, so I might have to come up with some more projects. Knock on wood. It's moving along pretty fast, but I'm sure I'll get hung up on something. So, alright, I've rambled enough. So, thank you guys for making this camp enjoyable so far. And I'm looking forward to the following weeks and months. So, let's keep it up. Go Team Snow Leopard. We're doing great. Our points are just, you guys are the stuff's flying off your guys' needles, so I love it. So happy knitting, keep on going. Any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you next week.